where a child loses both his parents and guardians, or they are incapacitated due to COVID, what can we do to help a child in such a situation?
In such a situation, it is best to A, call the Childline Helpline, which is 1098. This is a toll-free number which is available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This helpline will mobilize units and probably provide immediate assistance within 60 minutes. Alternatively, you can contact your local child welfare committee or your district child protection unit or officer. These are the authorities appointed under the Juvenile Justice Act. And your last resort would be to contact the nearest police station or the National or State Commission for Child Rights.
Okay. And in a quest to help find these kind of children a new home, a safe environment, how wise is it to share their details on social media to amplify it?
Whilst social media has been a great tool in this pandemic to amplify information and provide all the help, unfortunately, in this situation, it would not be wise to do so, because this would pose a huge threat and a risk to the child's safety. If this information goes out into the hands of predators or human or child traffickers, or even people involved in child labor, it could be detrimental to the child. Hence, it is best to inform the authorities who can take the necessary steps. In fact, just a few days ago, there was a fake post doing the rounds on Twitter of the adoption of 2 children and saying that please adopt these children. And it was later found that it was a fake post and it can really be misused. So do not share this information and protect the child's identity.
Can one, entrust a distressed child to a person in the neighborhood? Would that be wise?
It would not be wise to hand over the child to an unauthorized person. The best thing would be to hand it over to a relative or a family member that the child feels comfortable with, till such time any external help by way of the authorities or the police arrives. Of course, you can provide all sorts of assistance in terms of medical needs, food, or the basic necessities that they need. You can help in your own way, but best for authorities to take this forward, because adoption can happen only through the legal means. There is no circumventing that procedure.
What would be the procedure to adopt a child in these COVID times?
There has been no change in the procedure for adoption per se due to these COVID times. The main agency involved or your main point of contact would continue to be the Central Adoption Resource Agency, or the CARA as it's called. You can get onto their website where all the information that you need in terms of the eligibility criteria, in terms of the procedure, the documents required, and you can go ahead and adopt the child after following all of these steps. The other alternative to Hindus is also the Hindu adoption, which can happen by way of an adoption deed.
Say, if one of my domestic help is going through a troubling financial crunch and, she decides to marry off her daughter, who is just about 14 years of age. What can somebody like me do in this scenario to educate her?
Well, times are tough, and people are losing their jobs and do not have ways and means of supporting their families. But regardless, the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act does not allow marriages for females below the age of 18 and for males below the age of 21. Encouraging such marriages and supporting such marriages can be penalized under the law. And if any sort of financial help is required, it is best that you, as the employer, or direct her towards other NGOs who may be able to assist her in this regard. But she needs to be made aware of the stringent provisions of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act.
What can somebody who is suffering domestic violence in a situation like a lockdown, what can they really do?
There has been an exponential rise in domestic violence cases in this lockdown. And Niharika, domestic violence is not just physical abuse. It also involves sexual abuse, financial, economic abuse, mental abuse. So it is very important that the aggrieved woman, because the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act applies only to women. So it is important that the aggrieved woman takes the necessary recourse. She can approach the local police, she can approach the protection officer, and she can also approach the court and file for certain reliefs that she may need, temporary or permanent. And it is important for her to take those steps. There are also many helplines that are in place to help these women. And it is important that we also contact these helplines if we have no other avenues of approaching the authorities.
Okay. And what can one do if, say, I am the third person, I'm not the aggrieved party in a domestic violence? What can I do to sort of, help somebody?
The act permits you, that is the aggrieved woman, or anybody on behalf of the aggrieved woman, to take necessary steps to file the complaint. So definitely you can assist this person in filing of the complaints before the various authorities. And it is important to note that anything that you do in good faith would not hold you criminally or liable under the civil laws. And you can definitely go ahead and help this person get the reliefs that she needs.
The access to medical aid is limited now these days. What about the pregnant women who are facing difficulty?
The National Commission of Women has in fact provided a toll-free helpline where these women who are unable to get the aid that they need can contact this helpline and will definitely be helped in that regard.
What can one do to give access to emotional healing to, say, children who've suffered a loss due to COVID?
We all need some emotional healing. These have been tough times, and we can try and help them get to certain mental health experts who probably they can afford to provide all the psychological first aid that they may need. And there is also a helpline, once again, in these times by the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, which can also be contacted. This helpline is called the Samvedana. And this is a toll-free number, once again, available in regional languages to everybody across the bar. And it is helpful that in these times we get all the help that we need, because we just have to fight for ourselves and get through this.
Yes, and we will get through this. Thank you so much, Devika, for your time.
Thank you for having me, Niharika.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye-bye.